Minecraft Steve is much more powerful than he is letting on. This man is 100 times the man that myself or any of my viewers currently are, and today I'll explain why. Number 1. Falling. Steve falls quite a bit, and he survives some pretty crazy high nosedives. In order to understand how insane it is when Steve jumps off a cliff and survives, we need to do a teensy bit of math. According to an Xbox tweet, Steve stands at an impressive 6 feet and 2 inches tall. Knowing that Steve is 6 feet and 2 inches tall helps us to calculate how high Steve can fall from and still live. According to Minecraft101.net, Steve usually dies from a fall of 23 blocks. But just how tall is 23 blocks? Well, we can figure that since Steve is not quite as tall as 2 blocks, let's just say he's an inch under 2 blocks. 2 blocks has to be somewhere around 6 feet and 3 inches tall. If we divide 6 feet and 3 inches by 2, we get 3 feet and 1.5 inches. So 1 block has to be close to 3 feet and 1.5 inches tall. This is where we begin to see just how high Steve falls from on a consistent basis and continues to survive. If we multiply the 23 blocks that it takes Steve to fall from before he dies by 3 feet 1.5 inches, we get a number just under 72 feet, which is comparable to a 7-story building. According to the book Trauma Anesthesia, people in real life who fall from 48 feet have a 50% chance of death. And as stated by Sean Hughes at USA Today, at around 10 meters or 30 feet, you're looking at very serious injuries. But the crazy thing is, Steve never gets injured. Any drop that is not fatal, he walks off. Even if he is left on half a heart, he will still run and jump and mine and pretend like the fall never happened. Another strange thing about Steve is that if he lands in any amount of water, he will survive the descent. In real life, once you hit a fast enough velocity, hitting water is about the same as hitting concrete. So either Steve is the world's greatest pencil diver, or alternatively he could be a waterbender. Number 2. Jumping. No one probably ever thinks about this, but Steve must have the world's strongest legs. Think about when you've played in any Minecraft survival world. How many times in one Minecraft day would you say that you jumped? Is it in the 10s? Or in the 50s? Maybe even in the 100s? What we need to realize is that every single time Steve jumps from one block up to another, he is jumping the height of 1 block, which we saw earlier is at least 3 feet and 1 inch tall. Remembering that Steve is 6 feet and 2 inches tall, every time he jumps from one block up to another, he is jumping high enough to dunk a basketball. Whenever Steve jumps from one block up to another, he is most likely using his full strength to make the leap. Some people would say that Steve is box jumping to make the jump, but we know that that isn't true because Steve cannot bend his legs in the way to box jump. His legs always stay in a straight line. So not only is Steve constantly leaping high enough to dunk a basketball, but he is doing so while keeping his legs straight. Try jumping without bending your knees, and if you get 5 inches off the ground, I'll be impressed. Number 3. Breaking blocks. Steve also has the strongest knuckles in the world. This man can break a tree with his hand, and it doesn't take him years to do so. He can do it in seconds. He can also punch through stone, iron, diamond, and obsidian. But what is strange is that despite his ridiculous mining strength, his punches don't do as much damage to his foes. Steve's fists in Java Edition only do half a heart of damage to his enemies. Think about that for 1 second. This man can punch through obsidian with his hand, and yet in Java Edition he only deals half a heart of damage to his enemies. I think that this gives some insight into how much health the monsters in Minecraft really have. Steve's fists in our world would most likely be considered as dangerous as nuclear weapons, but in Minecraft, enemies and other players have so much health that no one is scared of his fists. I mean, in real life, a hard punch to the right spot can end a person's life, but it takes 20 punches for Steve to kill another player. Number 4. Healing. Steve not only survives deadly falls daily, jumps 3 feet into the air without bending his knees, and has fists that could be considered war crimes, but he also has some kind of Wolverine healing power. Wounds that would take a human years or a lifetime to recover from, such as a creeper's explosion or falling from way up in the air, are healed in a matter of minutes. What is strange about this power is that it only seems to work when he is not hungry. Who knows? Maybe Steve's only weakness is needing a snack. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know if I should make more videos like this, and maybe consider subscribing with notifications on. And I'll see you guys in the next one.